Centennial,
Yeah, let's move over to Centennial. If you've never been to a Centennial practice, do yourself a favor. The best practice in America, I would challenge anybody to argue that, and I would argue them down. Matt Logan is an absolute chemist when it comes to putting together a formula for practice that's going to keep his kids challenged, keep the expectations high, and keep them executing at full speed and physical. Just a phenomenal coach. My hat is always off to him. Every time I attend Greg, it's a flashback to watching USC's Pete Carroll teams practice. I mean, it's full speed, no pass, physical as all heck. Guys are running into each other. Guys are fighting for every inch, every yard. Quarterbacks are executing. Offensive line, defensive linemen playing with their hands, but being extremely physical with each other. Running backs running quick and hard. You know how they do it. They're going to have a 5'3" back that's going to hit the hole at 100 miles an hour. Gary Bryant's a mismatch for anybody. I don't care who you are at the high school level. He's going to get separation. He's going to make a play on you. I love their three quarterbacks. I think they're all productive in their own little way. Their defensive line, though, stood out for me, led by, four-star defensive end Drake Jackson. He's a straight beast. They got a kid named Keon Foreman. We'll talk a little bit about him later, but a 6'3", 6'4", 235-pound freshman 2021 class, which is an absolute terror. Looks like he's going to be a first-round pick one day. And linebacker CV, a Polynesian kid. He's athletic. He can rush the passer. He can cover one-on-one. He's a zone dropper. He's a blitzer. But, man, watching that practice was phenomenal, man. And that's not to take anything away from Orange Lutheran or Mission Viejo. But Centennial, man, they do it like nobody does it. I mean, NFL teams would be jealous. They do not waste a second. They get a zillion reps. I mean, there is just not a wasted moment in practice. They're getting reps. The reps are physical. The reps are fast. And they are intense. And I just loved it.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think you tweeted out the best, or maybe you put it on Facebook, the best pass rush in the state will be from Centennial. I thought that was a little interesting. I know Bosco's got, 4 or 5 dudes up front that can get after you a little bit. I would say I think Drake Jackson is the best of that group if you combine those two teams. But do they have a number 2, a number 3 guy that you feel are going to, I know the Skurlock kid, right? Did you see him at all? I think his name is Malik.
Yes, Malik Skurlock. Yeah, he's the interior kid.
He sat the first 5 games last year. He didn't play in the IMG game, but I looked at him on the sideline and go, dude, when did you graduate? He goes, I'm just I'm a junior right now. I'm going, you kidding me?
Right.
Like he was a 3-year guy in college.
Yeah,
huge kid.
Yeah, he's about 6'2.5", 6'3", Greg. Plays with great leverage. Still working on using his hands, but he can get his hips turned to the quarterback. He can really lean and reach. You can tell his ability to rush the passer is there. Again, Foreman has special traits. Drake Jackson is a special football player. And then the kid CV on the edge. They have a bunch of guys that can play up front and get after the passer with 4. And I was talking to Drake about that over the weekend. I said, Drake, if you guys can rush the passer with 4 and not have to bring those blitzes, not have to put your defensive backs like Isaiah Young on an island, that ball is going to come out early. It's going to come out flurrying. Those are picks for touchdowns. You guys are going to be a serious problem. Matt Logan has not had this type of defensive front. Since I've been watching Centennial, they have not had this type of talent up front. They've got 4 Division I players up front, Greg Biggins.
Okay, that's good to hear. Because I know last year was probably the best defense they've had in a long time, but for years that was always kind of their Achilles heel when they'd score 60 and give up 50. So I'm thinking then if they can somehow put together a dynamic defense to go along with that great offense, just slow you down a little bit. But I like last year's defense, man. That IMG game, that defense gave them a chance to win. So that's a whole other topic. We've already talked about that quite a bit. What happens if our guy, Tanner McKay, doesn't get hurt? But, no, that's good to hear, man. Matt Logan, I'm as big a fan as his as you are. And, man, I think everyone's going to be talking about the same, too. Arne and Bosco. To be not surprised if, sneaks up and knocks one of those guys off, if not both of them.
Yeah, listen, not sneaking up, Greg. Not from what I saw. That ain't sneaking up. They got a receiver. No, he was wearing number 85 out there. And I'm sitting here looking at their roster. They didn't really have an 85 on there. But he's a guy that can make plays with the balls in the air. He had body control. He had the concentration, the tracking, everything. I mean, the guy was going up making acrobatic catches. Isaiah Young is one of the premier 2020 defenders on the perimeter on the outside covering. They had some linebackers that can run, look physical. You know, Logan's going to keep them in the weight room. He's going to keep them on their speed work. It looked like a really good football team. And you know they're going to get 49 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of a given.
Yeah, that's the under.
So they've got a defense that looks like they're going to be holding people to 14, the 14 minus.
Man, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm ready right now. I want to see. I think they played Narbonne again, right, in the preseason?
Yeah, that'll be a good game. Oh, yeah, it'll be at Narbonne this year.
So,
sure.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be a great schedule.
Really quickly, want to recap the San Clemente visit. So got a chance to visit